with your host, Pablo Gunner, and I am here to talk nerdy to you about nerdy things and fitness things, but probably more nerdy than fitness stuff just because whatever. So, no, I don't like to go drone on about all my workouts, and the reason I don't like to drone on about my workouts is because I post all the workouts that I did in the website post at TNTMTheShow. So that's where you can check out all of our stuff: Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Instagram. I maybe have said that, YouTube, all of it, website, everything. It's all TNTM the show. That's what it all is. So you can follow us on any of that stuff. Contact us, me. It's really just me running everything, really, when it comes down to it. But anyways, I'm going to be talking some nerdy stuff and some fitness stuff. Now, for fitness stuff, I will say I mostly was doing, I was running a lot. I was also swimming a lot. I was doing a lot of abs. And I was also doing some nerdy fitness workouts. Like I said, all that stuff's going to be posted on the website. So I was looking pretty cut. So this was also for the month of, for September. It was for September. So during September, there was the fair. And actually before the fair, I think I might have still been, I'm not sure. I don't know if I got sick before the fair or after the fair, but regardless, what happened is I was making really good progress. I was making gains. I was on the gain train, doing great. Then I got sick, and I lost a lot of mass and strength as well, of course. And so it was difficult getting back into the gym after that because it was like, I know I could do more than this before. I could do 10 pounds more than this easily, and now I'm struggling, to do 10 pounds less. So it's crazy how easily being sick can affect you. It was pretty nuts. And so the fair was going on, and the wife and I went to the fair. We actually only went one night, and the only reason we went is because I had tickets to the rodeo / concert for Dan plus Shay. And I actually had never been to a rodeo concert before, so it was really confusing and weird. No one was answering my questions. I don't really know that. I'm not friends with people on Facebook that go to rodeo concerts, so when I asked, nobody answered me. When I was like, hey, what do I do? What do I wear? What happens? Like, when does the band play? Do they play at the end? Do they play in the middle? Do they play at the beginning? Playing at the beginning doesn't make sense. Playing in the middle doesn't make sense either to me. Because it's like, oh, I'm just here for the show, and then I'm gonna leave, so I'm not gonna stick around. So to me, it made sense rodeo first, and then that, but I wasn't sure, and I just didn't know the setup. So I was very ignorant, and I had no one to ask. So it was kind of awful. I asked other people, I asked some people, but they didn't give me a full answer. I was like, do I have to wear chaps? Do I have to go with the pistol? Should I go riding on a horse? I had no idea about any of these things. Should I wear boots? I mean, I have my own work boots, not just for work, but actually from another job and from the job I have now. But anyways, the point is, I don't have cowboy boots, so I have not worn cowboy boots in a very long time. It's been a very long time since I've worn cowboy boots, since I was a youngster. So anyways, yeah, but it was actually, because we got there super late. If you know anything about the fair, you have to be there super early, and it was on a day that was like Dollar Tuesday or something like that. I actually took vacation for it and everything. I don't know if it was Tuesday or Wednesday, but I think it was Tuesday. But anyways, point is, it was super cheap, so the lines were super backed up, and that was driving too. And I was like, wife, we're not gonna find parking inside the place. Let's just go find parking somewhere. We'll just pay for parking on the side of the road or something like that. Well, all those lots were full too, so I just found a spot on the side of the road in the city. So, and to be honest, I don't even know if I locked my vehicle. So. But it was still there, and nothing was missing, so I'm assuming I did lock it. So anyways, I like I said, I had been working out a lot. This must have been before I got sick. I had been working out a lot, and I had just done I don't know if I had done biceps or triceps, but either way, my arms were really sore. And so I actually had a protein bar, and I chomped on it before I went in, before we went, and then I think it was the last piece too. And by the time we got there, I was hungry again. My muscles were screaming for more protein by the time we got, like, not instantly, but my buddy, he had gone too. He took his girlfriend, and so I was getting texts from him and stuff like that and updates, but his phone was like delaying like 15 minutes. So I was like, well, I don't want to get a text from him and then 15 minutes later they've already started. So I was getting paranoid. We did eat some. The wife had picked out like 3 different things, and I was like, wife, I have to eat. My muscles are screaming at me. And so in turn I was screaming at her. It's, it's the roid rage. I mean, not that I'm on steroids, but like when you're working out, like you just, or a lot, you just get that testosterone increase, right? So yeah, that's what happened. So I got my little my brisket or whatever it was. I always get there. I always get the whatever's barbecue and like brisket or something like that, some meat. I'm all for it. So I love it. So that's what I got. And then I was like, I felt rushed. Like I said, I was like, I didn't know if my buddy was gonna get a hold of me in time, because I told him, hey, text me when they're done with the rodeo, because I didn't really care about the rodeo. Well, we went anyways. My wife saw the Clydesdales, that the police are on. I don't think the Clydesdales are like the level below Clydesdales. So my wife knows what it is. I don't. So she's a hardcore animal person. Anyways, we go inside, and the lady actually was not even paying attention. So because I'd never been there, I didn't know that was the lady that was supposed to check our tickets. So I just kept walking because I thought inside they checked our tickets. I didn't know. And then my wife's like, hey, you get back here. This lady has to check our tickets. And I was like, I don't know that. I'm new to this. I have no idea. Because there was a line inside. That was the line for beer. That was not the line for our tickets. I thought it was the line for our tickets. Now, another thing that I learned about rodeo concerts that I did not know about rodeo concerts is that you can buy the cheapest ticket, which that's what I did, but that's also partially because the availability. They were really bad tickets. Anyways, we got the tickets. I think they were like $25, but you can pay $5 and you can be on the show floor. Now, mind you, you're in the dirt and the piss and the shit and whatever else is out there. But regardless, you can be like 3 feet away or whatever it is. You can be like right in front of the stage like you can with any other concert. Well, not any other concert, because I guess big, Coliseum ones aren't really like that. But, like if you go to the Sunshine or you go to the launch pad, you can get as close as you want to get, right? It's all based on if you want to shove your way to the front. So I don't do that anymore. I'm too old for that. No, of course, my wife didn't want to do that. And it was funny because she's talking crap about all the other girls there that are dressed in their boots and their little shorts and their little tops and whatever, and just saying that they're basic bitches. And yet she's dressed up in pink, like, and I say pink like pink, not Abercrombie's bitch, which she used to, but Victoria's Secret. She's wearing like all Victoria's Secret, head to toe pretty much and stuff. Anyways, so it was like, I don't know, pot kettle, even though it's different kinds of basic, whatever. So, yeah, and, like I said, my buddy was there. He didn't want to go to the floor either for same reasons, him and his chick. Well, where they were was literally the farthest away. We sat with them just because that's where they were. We didn't know, like I said, we didn't know about the situation about, hey, you just pay $5 and you can be closer than if you pay the top dollar. You could pay like $40 for a box seat that's close, right? So that's close on the sides, mind you. Still nowhere as close to as just paying $30 and being like right up in their nuts. So anyways, yeah, and we could have moved to any of the seats that were empty because there are so many empty seats because people bought up into the show floor and stuff. I have to be honest, I just really liked how much fun people were having. People were dancing down there on the floor. They were on over there. It was funny because they actually brought in a truck with a trailer that had 2 recliners on it, and then you could pay to sit on those recliners and kind of have like they'd be above seat, higher than everybody else. It was kind of funny. It was kind of cool. In fact, Dan and Shay actually mentioned it. They're like, we've done a lot of concerts Never been to a concert where they had that before. So I don't know if that's like prop to us for being innovative or being super ghetto. So probably a little bit of both, or just both, period. Anyways, yeah, it was a really great show. I had a good time, and I was dancing, I was standing up, I was singing along for the songs that I knew because I had been doing nothing but listening to Dan plus Shay. That's what I call him because there's like a plus symbol, but it's Dan and Shay. And so, anyways, that's all I've been listening to. Not that much there. I feel like their most recent like self-titled album, it's there's like some solid hits, but for the most part, like it sounds too. I don't know if it's like too. I don't know if it's too poppy or if it's too like too. I don't know. It's just there's something about it that I like the older stuff better. Anyways, it was a great show. Those guys sound really, really good live. They are fantastic. I will say though, they didn't sound authentic and genuine when they said that like New Mexico was the best and or Albuquerque. We're like both me and Slagio were like, yeah, right, because it just didn't feel genuine. I don't know. Sometimes some people can fake it, some people can't. Because we recently went to another concert and it seemed really genuine. So maybe they did mean it, or those other guys just didn't mean it. I don't know. We'll see. Or we never will. Who knows? But yeah, it was a good time. We still had a blast for the time that we spent because the fair was still open once we got out. So we ate some more and then we went home, and it was a good time. It was really great. So, like I said, I must have gotten sick afterwards because that's when I just lost it and it's lost motivation too. And I was doing a lot of stuff, so it was really good. I was doing legs workouts. I was getting swole. Not crazy swole, just slowly, but it was good progress. So yeah, anyways, I'll go ahead and get into the other stuff. Maybe not necessarily nerdy, but it's just stuff, like the food I ate. So for the month, throughout the month, I had salmon and broccoli mixed with brown rice, Noosa yogurt, protein bars. I think they're called Pure is the brand. Then organic cheese sticks, Sorrento snack packs, pita chips. They're organic pita chips. Organic trail mix, salad, Five Guys. Oh yeah, Five Guys. Love me some Five Guys. Turkey leg, of course. Fair food. Just all that. There was some stuff that was loaded with sugar. I think we got. She got a crepe. I didn't have that much of that. She also got the corn on the cob. Not elote corn, but because it's mayonnaise on corn sounds gross. Anyways, it was still pretty good. And then what else was there? There was not a crepe, but something else that was like, oh yeah, funnel cake. It was funnel cake. It was super sweet. It was s'mores funnel cake. We didn't even eat it that night because we were so full. I ate it like the next day. It was so good. Ribbon fries, yeah. And then I had an elk burger that wasn't fair food. That was like, we had it in the freezer and I cooked it and it was fantastic. And then chicken mozzarella ravioli that from Costco. Applebee's quesadilla burger. I don't know if that was leftovers that my wife had or if that was just we went and that's what I got. And then spinach artichoke dip. That's what she always gets. And then she also gets boneless buffalo chicken wings, and then turkey rolls. I don't even know what turkey rolls are, honestly. I just have it down. So anyways, yeah, that's what I did for comida, for my food. And then for musica, like I said, Dan Plachey, Chris Young, she's got this thing about her. Neon Moon by Brooks and Dunn, that's an old school one. Trace Adkins, Cody Johnson. I was thinking about going to a Cody Johnson concert, so I was listening to Cody Johnson, but didn't end up going. And then Dierks Bentley, The Mountain for the concert, actually. I had done that too. That was coming up as well. And Lanco Hallelujah Nights, that was the next concert I went to. I think maybe that might have been at the end of the month. Yeah, it was at the end of the month. So there was that as well. Those, and surprisingly, like, Lanco wasn't that great live. They just didn't sound that great, and they didn't play that many songs. That was disappointing, and that was at the Isleta. So I don't know if it was just a sound, like it doesn't sound that good at Isleta or what, but Dierks Bentley was really good. I'm not even a huge Dierks Bentley fan, but he's a solid artist, though, through and through. I also listened to Tenacious D, Rise of the Phoenix, which is hilarious. I was like, oh my gosh, how have I not listened to this sooner? Because it's just the funniest stuff. Then Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, which got me into Kendrick Lamar, which it should have been the Black Panther album because that album is almost all him and it's phenomenal. But yeah, this one was it's just his best stuff pretty much. It's his best album. But it just blew me away and I just fell in love with it. And I'm like, this is my favorite like new rapper artist that I'm just gonna listen to all of his stuff, starting from all his stuff to his most recent. So anyways, movies and shows. I also watched Unforgiven, Righteous Kill, A Quiet Place, which was really cool, really interesting. Purge Election Day, which was, it was alright. Delirium, I'll be honest, I don't even remember what that was about. Actually, I do, it was Topher Grace, and like, that one was really weird, because you can't figure out whether or not he is a killer, and he has like a split personality, and the other personality killed this person, and he's blaming it on the personality. Because he's been in this psych ward for all these years and he's finally out now and he's under house arrest and stuff. And then all this weird stuff keeps happening. Like, he thinks the house is haunted, but he doesn't know if, like, those are the voices. Like, that's his own paranoia. Or if, like, it is haunted. Like, there's just a lot of stuff. Not a lot of stuff, but a couple things going on that you're like, is this real? Is it not real? Is it in his head? Is it not in his head? So that was cool. And Topher Grace is, like, really good at writing that line of, like, is he a normal dude or is he a crazy dude? You know? So, and then I rewatched Black Panther, which, so much power. Like, that's such a powerful movie. When I rewatched it, I was like, this is even better than the first time I watched it, which was crazy because when the first time I watched it, I was so into it, and I was just even more into it this time. Because my complaints about the first time I watched it is that the action was too fast. But when I watched it this time, I did not feel like the action was too fast, and it matched perfectly because it's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Black Panther is essentially like the super soldier of his nation, so he fights similar to Steve Rogers, which is like, he'll like hit dudes like once and they'll fly, you know, it's crazy stuff like that. And then I had also been watching Cloak and Dagger, which is phenomenal, and it's a great deep show. There's a lot of character building at first, and then they start focusing on story. And yeah, it's just strongly, it's pretty dark too. It's strongly character focused, but it's also really darker than I thought it was, even though it's different than the origin that I initially thought it would be. So that was pretty crazy. And then yeah, so I also watched some Dragon Ball Super, Iron Fist Season 2, which I liked a lot. I did like Iron Fist Season 2 quite a bit. And it was a great cliffhanger. But it's been canceled. So it really kind of doesn't matter. Predators. And that's like, it's, you know, where there's more than one Predator. And that was the one with Adrian Brody, which was okay. I just kind of felt like, I don't know, there was something about Adrian Brody. Like, he brought it, but there was just something about him that, like, I was not fully convinced. Then I saw The Phantom Thread. Yeah, so The Phantom Thread was this movie that my wife and I watched. She actually wanted to because she's a big gosh, what is his name? That one actor, he did the New York. It was like a New York thing, and There Will Be Blood. That guy, not Charlie Day, Daniel Day-Lewis. So yeah, it was him, and where essentially what he does is he makes dresses for the rich and famous, essentially, and he hides things into the threads. Like special, like a word or something, or like maybe his mom's name or something like that, like or just something like that nobody knows about except for him. And so yeah, but it turns out it's this relationship that he has with this girl. He goes like to this little town that he was from. He meets this waitress. They end up like dating, and he ends up like falling for her. But it's weird because like he works himself like not to death, but he just becomes that. He just becomes that work. So she makes him sick. Like, by giving him these mushrooms that are poisonous, and it makes him, like, near deathly ill. And that's kind of their thing. Like, he works himself so much that he can't make himself stop, but she makes him stop, and so it forces him to slow down. And that's what works for them. It was really weird. It was odd. And it was a period piece, too, which they knocked it out of the park on that. It was just kind of odd, but they whatever they were aiming for, I think they totally hit that mark. So, Blade Runner 2049, which was really, really solid. I liked it a lot. It was really, really cool. I thought it was a great sequel, but it's great on its own as well. So that was great. The Shape of Water, really weird and kind of felt like a Abe Sapien like love fanfic. I don't know. It just was like, all right, it wasn't bad. It was just, especially like the ending was just like too much for me. Well, not only that, there was a couple parts that were too much for me. When she filled up the room with water, that was too much for me. And then at the very end, that was like, nah, that's too much. The other one was Atomic Blonde. That was really, really great too. It was funny because throughout the movie I was like, she's not really that good of a British spy. Like, she doesn't have that good of a British accent. And then once you find out like her true alliance at the end, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense now why. And then of course we had been watching Attack on Titan season 3, which has been mind-blowing and great. And I had stopped reading the manga, so there was a certain point, like it was like halfway through the season, I was like, okay, I know what's going on. I've read this far. And then I was like, oh my God, I haven't read. And then I was super anxious because I didn't know what was going to happen next. Whereas before I was like, oh, I can't wait until it comes next. And then the other one I was like, oh my God, I don't know what's coming next. But I can't wait for it. So yeah, it was great. And then for video games, I have been playing. The wife got me Spider-Man PS4. And it's funny because I told her not to get it for me because I was like, I don't have time to play it, so don't get it for me. And like I said, I got sick. So as soon as I got sick, like she got me this game and I was like, oh, well now I have time. So that's all I did for like a week. And so I was able to beat it. And I told her again, I was like, the next game I want is Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but don't get it for me yet because I haven't even beat this game. I was like one day away from like beating it, and she bought me the game. And I was like, babe, I haven't even finished this. Come on. And I was like, and I have all these other games that I have not beaten yet. So, but yeah, so I played a little bit of Tomb Raider as well. And the just beginning of that is really just sucked me in. It's Dia de los Muertos at the beginning of it. And it's really cool and interesting and awesome. So, yeah. And then comics. Unnatural, still really great and interesting. That's like it's a really weird and interesting thing where it's these animalistic or humanistic animals, I guess. I don't know. But, and yeah. And so they have this weird society where, like, you have to pay taxes if you're not married, like, more taxes if you're not married, and you know, and stuff like that, and just all these things, and all this crazy stuff that ends up happening to her friends and stuff like that. It's really crazy. And then Cover, which is this book about covers, like comic book covers, but it's about this artist that does comic book covers, but he also has his own side project that he did, and it's roughly based off of David Mack, but it's Brian Michael Bendis that's writing it. But I think it's like both of them working together, but it's Mack that does the art, and I love his art. It's like watercolor style. It just flows real cool, and he does like different styles though at the same time within the same book. It's really phenomenal. But they also work in like this little spy thing into it, which makes it crazy because you're like, all these different interactions that he has with people at conventions. You're like, is this real? Is this fake? I don't know. Like, you're not sure because it just feels so real that you don't know. And then Fantastic Four with Dan Slott, he's doing a really good job getting that kicked off. So that's been really cool, seeing the Fantastic Four back together and have a title again. And then the Titans, which was going so great because it was now we had Nightwing, and he's starting this romance with McGann, so which was really cute. And then Captain America, you know, I love my Captain America in this one. Phenomenal art, phenomenal storytelling, and Sharon, she's been kidnapped by this group, and he's trying to go save her. So he's doing his thing. And then Avengers has been so freaking awesome with Jason Aaron on that, and I think McGinnis doing like the first story arc along with, I want to say McGinnis. Yeah, Ed McGinnis. And so just blowing it out with like this crazy, huge, ginormous story was just so crazy. Then Spectacular Spider-Man, which it was actually the last issue of Spectacular Spider-Man done by Chip Zdarsky. He did the art and he did the writing, and he just blew it out of the water. Like the essence of what makes Peter Parker and Spider-Man what it is. And so, yeah. And then Punisher's just been freaking awesome because he's hunting down Zemo slowly and getting closer and closer. It's just crazy the things that he's doing. It's nuts. So yeah, that was my month and stuff. So yeah, like I said, if you want to check out the workouts that I did, go ahead and check them out on the website, which is TNTMTheShow.com. Make sure you put the W's, otherwise it won't come in unless it fills out the W's for you. But anyways, yeah. So that is it for me. You can check out all of our stuff at TNTM The Show. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube, all of it. So stay thirsty, my friends. No, that's not it. Stay fit, stay healthy, love and peace. Fight for your life.